Hello everybody, this is Derrick with 605 Running Company, and with the new introduction of Diadora at the shop, I think it would be a good time to talk about the Diadora Frequenza after 100 miles. So I had the opportunity to get these shoes a little bit before we had them at the shop, so I've had a lot of time to really get to know this shoe, really get to know the ins and outs, what's good, and why I really love this shoe. So let's just hop right into some of the specs and get that out of the way first. So this is an 8mm drop shoe, so kind of right in the middle, and it lands at 8.1 ounces for weight, which is phenomenal. For the amount of foam underfoot, 8.1 ounces is quite light. They're calling it the Anima N2 is the type of foam that they use, which is a supercritical EVA if we want to get into that. But what that means is it's really lightweight, but maintains a lot of that bounce, and the energy return in it is phenomenal. So looking then to the outsole, pretty much full coverage rubber on the outsole, so I expect that the durability will continue to do great as we put it through the miles. They're calling this the Duratec 5000 outsole rubber, which is great. Having that much coverage really promotes, I imagine this shoe is going to last quite a while. The upper is a nylon mesh upper, so really breathable. You can kind of see the openings here on the toe box, and then some just overlays on otherwise for some of that detailing and some of the looks and aesthetics. So overall, what did I like about this shoe? Where would I put this in the rotation, and how has it held up over the first 100 miles? Well, I should say, I meant to do this review after 100 miles, but we're actually inching closer to 200 miles right now because I've been just grabbing for it over and over again. So this shoe, I would categorize this kind of in that Asics Nova Blast category. So it's not plated. But it is marketed as their tempo or their up-tempo shoe for faster, speedier workouts. But for myself, I'm putting it in the kind of that up-tempo trainer. So I've been putting a lot of miles in this, just easy miles, general mileage. A lot on the treadmill, some outside. I've taken it even on the Coros fitness test, so all the way up to sub 5-minute pace, and it felt fantastic throughout all of them. One of the things that I really notice is that it's a very neutral shoe. So if you look how flexible, how bendable it is, it's very neutral, very soft, but we don't run into some of the issues like the Nova Blast. So a lot of people were experiencing that rolling in on the heel with the Nova Blast because it was almost too soft and too narrow in the heel. I'm experiencing zero of that, but still a lot of that same peppy, great feel. So then the upper is kind of the only drawback that I've had so far. I had a little bit of bleeding of the color on my socks. So really, if that's the worst problem from a shoe, we're doing pretty good. So I'm just, instead of wearing white socks, I've been mostly wearing black socks with this shoe. Some of that tongue, the blue, bled a little bit, but overall, not a huge concern. So who is this shoe good for? Well, I believe this shoe can fit into most people's rotation actually in somewhere. So for myself, I use it for just everyday miles. That's where I found it most useful for me. But I think for a lot of people, think about the Endorphin Speed from Saucony. If you're using that as your workout shoe, I really think that this would be a super comparable option as far as the use case. So speedier workouts. But the reason why I really love this is the comfort is unreal. The softness is just unmatched, but being able to feel that responsiveness as well. So for that reason, I think this shoe is great for even potentially race day if you don't want a carbon plated shoe, or if budget isn't concerned, you don't want to spend close to $300 on one of the super shoes out there. I think this shoe really could find the niche in anybody's rotation. Plus, You know, we got to talk about Diadora. They're Italian. They just have a knack for style. And I think that really shines on this in this shoe. It almost feels like a throwback, some of the design to the colorways, almost like 90s styling. But they just tweak it to make it modern enough to really fit just a really cool look. So for me, it checks all the boxes in performance, in durability, and honestly, looking great definitely helps the equation. So for all of those reasons, I'm a huge fan of this shoe, the Diadora Frequenza. I'd highly encourage you to stop by 605 Running Company here in Sioux Falls. We're the only carrier in the state of South Dakota. So if you're looking to try out some new Italian Diadora running shoes, stop by 605 Running Company downtown today and give these a shot. You won't regret it.